Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a wait set.
The number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
DL Hughley just joined the chat and he's spilling some major tea about
DL Huey just joined the chat, and he's spilling some major tea about how Shannon Sharpe is currently in hot water because he sold himself to industry gatekeepers. And now he's paying the price, but DL Huey isn't the only one saying this word on the block. Shannon is getting slammed with all these allegations right now because he's next to go on the guillotine allegedly. He made a secret oath to certain industry gatekeepers, which gave him success in the industry. But you know what they say about Hollywood, there's no free lunch, and it looks like when the gatekeepers came knocking, Shannon couldn't keep up his end of the bargain. But guess what? This is only the beginning according to industry sources. There's a whole arm of women getting ready to file their lawsuits against Shannon, and the allegations are even crazier. So what? Does DL Hughley know about Shannon's situation? And is it true that Shannon is being blackmailed? Let's get into it.
I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes.
DL Huey has been warning Shannon Sharpe about being a sellout and associating himself with weird people, but Shannon never listened. The moment Shannon's lawsuit and all the messy details started going viral, Huey was there to drag the hell out of him. Huey put Shannon on blast on Twitter, saying, "Shannon better be glad Shannon ain't interviewing Shannon on Club Shay Shay." Some of Shannon's fans felt like Huey was wrong for dissing the man when he's currently facing these serious allegations. But the truth is that Huey is not new to this. He's true to this. He has had his foot on Shannon's neck for years, now calling him out for turning Club Shay Shay into a place where other black men get torn apart for clicks. Huey called Shannon Wendy Williams with a wait set because Shannon allegedly uses his platform as a place where sensational clips are more important than the truth. According to him, Shannon deliberately uses his platform to hurt certain people for context. High appeared on a Vlad TV interview last year and dragged Shannon through the mud, saying he would never go on Club Shay. He explained that the controversial topics and beefs Shannon allows his guests to bring up on the show are way too messy for him initially.
I was going to do it, and it kept my schedule. It just didn't work out, but I'm glad I didn't. I thought it got to be too messy, and I said it out loud. I think for a while, Club Shay Shay was like Wendy Williams with Wait Set. Right. Like, hey, this dude. I mean, it was messy. The reason that those people went on Club Shay Shay in its first iteration, early became successful, is because we saw what he did. The reason I was gonna go is because we saw what Skip did to him. I said any number of things about the way Skip sunned him.
Is that when he said, "Put your glass back on," or something like that?
So horrible to me that I think a lot of people were determined to help this black man be successful because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And to kind of curate all that place that they worked so hard for you to have, so you would have your own space, be just an amalgamation and curate all the bull that has happened in our community seemed insulting.
Right. And we're talking about, man, some of the same people that rallied around him to make sure
Of course, Huey was referring to Cat Williams' Club Shay Shay interview, which now has almost 90 million views, making it one of the most viewed podcast interviews in YouTube history. During that interview, Cat opened a can of worms by calling out almost every famous comedian in the game. From Steve Harvey to Cedric the Entertainer and Kevin Hart. Cat didn't hold back one bit. Now, Cat didn't say anything bad about DL Hughley. But this didn't stop him from calling out Cat and Shannon for that interview. Interestingly, Cat actually warned Shannon about getting involved with wrong crowd during this interview. Y'all thought Cat was joking when he said Shannon had a weird allegiance to losers, but he really wasn't music. You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you. Many people don't realize that during that interview, Cat was hinting at Shannon's secret relationships with some industry gatekeepers. Cat allegedly believed Shannon had sold himself out to certain powerful people in the industry. If you noticed, during that interview, Cat kept emphasizing how dangerous it was to sell your soul to the devil. By the devil, of course, he meant the industry gatekeepers and power brokers people. who decide who becomes successful and who makes it big in the industry. Kat specifically mentioned Kevin Hart as one of the people who sold his soul, saying Kevin already had his deals before coming to the industry. He also mentioned other people and hammered on the fact that when you sell your soul, you will have to keep dancing to the tune of others for the rest of your life.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. You know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case.
People have also pointed out how Kat seemed to know that Shannon had a lot of weird fetishes and warned him about getting involved with white women. It's almost like Kat knew what would happen in the future.
Hey, Mo! Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs. Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. I do. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Dang. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Star?
If only Shannon had listened to all the people who warned him, he probably wouldn't be in this messy situation he's in right now. For context, Shannon is currently being sued for $50 million by a woman named Gabriella Zuniga, and it is all shades of messy in the lawsuit. Gabriella, also known as Gabby, accused Shannon of controlling, manipulating, and acting violently toward her. She claimed that when she tried to break up with him after his IG Live scandal last year, he got violent and essayed her at her house. Fast forward to January, and Shannon allegedly saw her again after manipulating her to invite him over. According to the lawsuit, Shannon refused to wear a condom while doing this, and he also used her back door, even when she told him she didn't want it. What makes these accusations even creepier is that Gabby was only 19 when Shannon started dating her, while he was in his mid-50s. But that's not all. Apparently, Shannon and Gabby used to engage in race play and BDSM, and we learned this after Shannon's lawyer leaked some of the text messages between them. The texts were like, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me." In another text, Gabby said, "I know you missed this big juicy behind $25,000 for each cheek. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me. I want out my tongue, and you're a hole, and then marry you. That's my daddy. If I want you to put a big black baby in me, you better crave it, 'cause you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me." It's clear that Shannon's lawyer posted these texts as some kind of proof that the relationship was consensual, because he added a statement denying the allegations. This lawsuit, filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and will not succeed. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of SA, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and the law. Shannon also responded to this lawsuit, calling it nothing but a shakedown. He said Gabby and Tony Busby are trying to get a fat payday from him, and he's not about to allow that to happen. Interestingly, Shannon also mentioned that Gabby and Busby are planning to release an edited 30-second non-explicit clip of him and Gabby that would make him look violent. He added that this clip was deliberately edited to make him look bad, daring them to release the full 10-minute video they cut the clip from.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me.
What's interesting about this is that there have been rumors floating around that the industry gatekeepers like to keep blackmail material on all the people who sold their souls to them, usually in the form of explicit videos and photos. Diddy had vaults filled with freak-off video recordings showing all your favorite celebrities doing questionable and even illegal things that would ruin their careers if they ever got out. According to industry insiders, Diddy wasn't the only one who did this, so fans couldn't help putting two and two together and concluding that Shannon had to be in some serious hot water with people at the top. Some theories are now floating around that the Gabby lawsuit is just a front by the higher-ups to get Shannon to pay for whatever he has done to them. But wait, it gets weirder, because the timing of this whole thing seems really suspicious. Shannon was set to receive a whopping $100 million in a new podcast deal after his previous contract with Colin Cowherd's The Volume podcast network. Shannon was fielding multiple million-dollar offers because everyone wanted a piece of that Club Shay Shay influence, which isn't surprising given that the podcast has about 4 million subscribers and holds the record for the most watched podcast episode on YouTube. This new deal was supposed to take him to the next level, making him one of the most successful podcasters ever after the insane career run he had while playing professional football. It's hard to deny how crazy it is that he has become so successful in TV and media. However, a lot of fans believe the fact that this lawsuit is coming up right at this moment seems way too calculated for it to be a coincidence. It seems like it was planned by people who had inside knowledge about Shannon's pending deal months before it was even announced. And get this, apparently Gabby and her team had been talking to Shannon's lawyer about an out-of-court settlement for $10 million before the lawsuit was ever filed. Shannon's lawyer later revealed that they had almost concluded on the settlement, and both sides were pretty confident they wouldn't have to go to trial. But then Gabby's side suddenly backtracked and walked away from the deal completely. Now, why would she walk away from $10 million? Well, Shannon offering to settle for that amount makes him look guilty as hell, because if he was completely innocent, he'd want to clear his name in court. Diddy settled with Cassie for allegedly $30 million. And see how that ended up. Diddy clearly knew that Cassie would win a whole lot more if she went to court because the evidence against him was overwhelming. But let's be real, even if Shannon did what he's being accused of, the chances of a 21-year-old OFA model winning in court against a wealthy retired athlete and media personality are very slim. The only reason she would refuse to settle is that she has undeniable proof of Shannon doing what she accused him of, something like an audio or video recording photos. You know, something that catches Shannon in the act. Now, to be fair, looking at some of the receipts that have dropped in this case, you got to admit, it's not looking good for Shannon. There have been 2 audio recordings going around where Shannon is basically implicating himself. In the first one, Gabby and Shannon are arguing, and Shannon threatens to choke Gabby out when she says she doesn't want him to do that. He says she doesn't have a choice.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
The second audio clip is basically the same thing, except Shannon threatens to do the same thing in public.
Thank you.
Well, well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be true.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
According to Gabby's lawyer, Tony Busby, there's a whole lot more where those came from. So, maybe she refused to take the $10 million because she felt confident that a jury would give her more. However, there's another theory that has been floating around, and it has to do with Gabby being influenced by some powerful people to reject the deal and bleed Shannon dry in the lawsuit. A lot of people have started asking some real questions. Why did Gabby suddenly reject the offer when she was already this close to accepting it? Also, let's be real, $50 million is a huge sum of money to ask for this case, considering everything we know so far. So why ask for it? What's even more suspicious is that other industry insiders seem to be suggesting that there's a third party influencing Gabby's case, for instance, Mace and Cameron recently talked about the lawsuit on their podcast, and Mace said some pretty interesting things about it.
Is like a fallacy or some kind of hoax or something like this, because he was about to get a bunch of money, and when you're about to get a bunch of money, people that hate on you just wait until you're about to get that money and rain on your parade, but we can't say that. And that's why I wanted to say it, to get Stats' opinion. I knew when I said that she was gonna go, yeah. No, you can't be on your way to 100 million. I keep telling Killer, right? And picking these kind of girls. You can't do that. We talked about this with Ant.
According to him, Shannon wouldn't have offered Gabby $10 million if he wasn't at least a little bit guilty. But then he added that it was weird that Gabby rejected the offer, suggesting that there might have been a pimp who influenced Gabby to go ahead with the lawsuit.
This is what I'm getting at. And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. Just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? That nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her, and then she said 10. He was like, 10 is my 10. You gotta put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed.
Now, Mace could have just been messing around, but it's pretty interesting that he said that what's also interesting is that ESPN dropped Shannon like a hot potato once this lawsuit went viral. They asked him to step down from his ESPN duties, and according to insiders, the company is already looking for ways to let him go. Even Stephen A. Smith, who famously took sides with Jay-Z after Jay got sued along with Diddy, seemed to be distancing himself from Shannon.
That being said, it's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him, I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt from a knowledgeable place, because I have nothing to do with this. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything. I don't even know this person. I know what the reports say.
For those that have eyes, the writing on the wall is pretty clear. Either the evidence against Shannon is so overwhelming that his reputation will be forever damaged once it comes out, or some people are pulling strings behind the scenes to make sure Shannon loses everything in this case. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Shannon is being set up? Or do you think this is a coincidence? Let us know in the comments. And then check out this next. Oh, it finally went down. Caroline Leavitt just unleashed a $500 million defamation smackdown on The View, and the media circus is already spinning like it's Black Friday at Tiffany's. This rising political powerhouse, known for defending free speech like her life depends on it, isn't just clapping back, she's launching a full-on legal missile that's got liberal pundits gasping like someone snatched their oat milk lattes mids.